Exposition. Jake Sully is a paraplegic war vet living in remote obscurity in the slums of an unnamed planet, presumably Earth. Inciting Incident. Jake is recruited by mysterious agents to take the place of his deceased brother on a mission to colonize the alien moon of Pandora. Once Jake arrives on Pandora, he's given control of the Na-6 avatar originally designed for his brother. Plot point 1. The humans aim to mine a rare material called unobtanium on Pandora. Chief Scientist Grace hopes to find a diplomatic truce with the Na-6 by infiltrating their ranks with avatars, aka pseudo Na-6 vessels piloted by humans. Colonel Quaritch wants Jake to use his marine skills to perform recon on the Na-6, and he promises Jake he'll get his legs back after the mission is completed. Rising action. Jake, Grace, and Norm venture out into the wilds of Pandora where they're attacked by the local fauna. Jake gets lost in the scuffle but is later rescued by Neytiri, a tribal warrior. Neytiri brings Jake to her mother Imoat and father Itukin, who decide they will spare him to study his motives. Midpoint. Jake spends most days in his avatar body training with Neytiri. The two develop a strong bond, but Grace warns that he shouldn't become too close. Grace also warns Jake that if he doesn't collect recon soon, Quaritch will shut down the diplomatic mission. Plot point 2. Jake's health begins to deteriorate from spending too much time in avatar form. Quaritch demands Jake force the relocation of all Na-6 no matter the cost. Build up. Jake passes the Dream Hunt rite of initiation and becomes a full member of Neytiri's tribe. Shortly after, Jake and Neytiri consummate their love and form a life bond. Climax. Jake and Neytiri wake up the following morning to discover the humans have unleashed an assault. Quaritch detaches Jake and Grace from their avatars and subsequently has them detained. Finale. Jake and Grace are freed amidst the commotion and travel into the heart of Pandora, the Well of Souls. Grace is injured along the way and succumbs to her mortal wound. Finale 2. The Na-6, along with Jake, plan a defense strategy to save the home tree from bombardment. Things go haywire, but when all hope seems lost, the flora and fauna fight back and protect the planet from the invaders. Jake kills Quaritch and fully embraces his Na-6 side. Denouement. The humans are forced to leave Pandora. Jake's human body is laid to rest, but he emerges conscious in his avatar. The avatar setting of Pandora through the written word of James Cameron to pick up on untouched details. By the end, we'll know the world of Avatar like a true Na-6. Avatar themes are moralistic. The Avatar screenplay has more than a few shortcomings, and we'll get to those in a bit, but first, let's analyze one area where the script is rather profound. We imported the Avatar screenplay into Studio Binder's screenwriting software to take a closer look at what's going on between the margins. In this next scene, we'll see the true reason why the humans travel to Pandora. Spoiler, it's not for humanitarian reasons. The two major themes of Avatar are: imperialism is bad. It's the responsibility of natives to protect local ecology, and vice versa. And we regard these themes as novel because we don't often see them represented in big-budget cinema. It's one thing to say imperialism is bad, it's another to show us why imperialism is bad. Fortunately, Avatar does a great job of showing us the calamitous effect imperialism has on the beautiful setting of Pandora. Check out this next clip to see Pandora visualized by James Cameron before the destruction. Quaritch and Administrator Selfridge refer to the Na-6 as savages, but aren't the humans the real savages for pillaging sacred land simply for financial gain? Ah yes, if this conflict structure sounds familiar, it's because it's deeply embedded in our planet's history. Sadly, human history is riddled with hundreds of years of displacing natives in order to mine rare materials. Cameron simply took our tragic history and put it into an alien setting, but the result is ultimately an act of introspection. Maybe we should protect our neighbors more viciously than we plunder for gold and silver. Avatar dialogue is sometimes cringy. The dialogue in Avatar often teeters on the edge of cringe. I know it's not easy to write dialogue, trust me, I've cringed at my own writing too, but it's inexcusable that some of the bad dialogue in a production as big as Avatar made it through the rewrite process. This next excerpt from the beginning of the script contains more than a few lines of dialogue that either contain too much exposition or simply too little originality. Challenge: as an exercise, read through this excerpt and mark down areas where you think the dialogue should have been edited. Okay, nobody, and I mean nobody, would ever say, "I became a Marine for the hardship." To be hammered on the anvil of life. Right? The anvil of life? It's just so unnatural for a character to say, even if it is in VO. This scene takes place at the beginning of the script, meaning it has an enormous impact on how we regard Jake's character. For all of Avatar's strengths, Jake's character isn't one of them. Cameron tried to make us empathize with Jake by having him attack the guy at the bar, but it didn't quite work. Perhaps that's why the scene was cut from the film. But alas, you can check out the deleted scene here. In the end, the dialogue in Avatar fails to match up to the lofty themes in the story. But there is one exchange that works surprisingly well.